Hey, gun people, G-U-N. I want to do a crazy cop story on this one case we were doing when we were working welfare fraud. And what had happened, and we somehow some Nigerian crime ring, gang, whatever you want to call it, were reproducing the checks from the welfare office back when they used to give checks out, and they were making checks and printing checks for $5,000. So the first couple checks, you know, people are kind of getting questions, so they give it to the investigation, and we're kind of like, yeah, these are kind of bogus checks. Where were they cashed? So we start our investigation. Well, the investigation led us from Sacramento to San Francisco to Long Beach, down to LA, into Shooting Newton District. I mean, it just led us everywhere trying to catch these guys, because the scam they had was pretty good, and it's pretty common. You never want to let somebody deposit a check in your account and pay you when they say, I don't have an account. If they don't have an account, there's a reason. Now, maybe they just don't want the government knowing, which is okay, but this isn't a good deal. So what these Nigerians would do, and how we found this out, is we went and kept arrested. So we get the case, and of course the check's bogus, it's $5,000. We know it's bogus because back then, when we were working that case, the welfare office used a dot little matrix printer. So all the numbers and everything were printed by dots. Some of you young guys may not know what a dot matrix printer is. Before laser printers that made it nice and smooth, they made little dots for everything. So they had a dot matrix. These checks were better than the county checks because they were all laser printed. So we're like, man, they got better equipment than we got. Which is going to lead me another cop story where I got some counterfeit money and all the equipment they had. The Secret Service kind of blew it off. But that's another cop story. So we're working this case. This guy deposited checks, so we go, hey, whoever deposited a check, he's our crook. So we track him down, do our background, go, and we go arrest him. And I can't remember, Sacramento, San Francisco, somewhere in the Bay Area up there around there. And we grab him, we arrest him. And he's a Nigerian, doesn't speak really good English, and he's like, man, has you been a cop for a while? Everybody denies it and says I'm innocent. But after you've been a cop for a while, you kind of figure out when someone's probably maybe telling the truth, and maybe you need to second guess this. So this guy didn't have any criminal record. He wasn't arrested. He was pretty cooperative when we arrested him. He didn't have a clue. He admitted to everything. We're like, hey, did you cash a check for $5,000? Yeah. Did you deposit in your account? Yeah. The check's bogus. He goes, what? So when he had that stupid look on his face, we're like, we don't think he's involved, but you know, he could be a good actor. So he tells us, hey, I was at a club. This guy came in. He said, just came over in a boat. He got his welfare check. But now, granted, this is a check that's been in Sacramento area, and they're cashing it in San Francisco. But these guys they didn't catch that clue. So he goes, he asked me if he didn't have a bank account because he was new here, but he got on welfare and he needed to cash this. So if I would cash it, he'd give me like $500. So I let him put it in my account, and he gave me $500, and he took the rest. I go, well, guess what? You just got arrested for depositing a bogus check. So he got charged for fraud. Now, I don't think he got a whole lot of time. He probably got a little spanking, but it wasn't like he went to jail or prison. But he still got arrested, and we still charged him because he was our lead. And if it came out later that he was lying, then we wouldn't have any leverage to plea bargain down to dismiss those charges on him if he came out, you know, he's lying or he's telling the truth. So we needed to secure him. So he went to jail. Well, a week later, another check comes. We chase him down. I think he's in Oakland. We end up arresting him. Same story. Hey, man, I went to a club and these guys came up. So we're slowly narrowing down who the guy is, what he looked like. We got a first name. We finally end up, what are you doing, monkey? Cat's over here rubbing on me. So finally, it leads us to a place down in LA called Shooting Newton District. And again, when we're traveling, we're in plain clothes, we're in unmarked cars, and we're going to all these different cities. You are just being a little pain in my butt. We're going to all these cities, so we don't have radios, so we're using our phones. And back then, the department would buy phones. Everybody had a certain amount of minutes, and they would pool it. So the people that didn't talk much, the people that talked a lot would get their minutes. So by doing that, the whole agency got a whole bunch of minutes in this package before they had free cell phone to cell phone. So our phone bills at the end of this case were out like $15,000 or something for a month. Everybody was having a shit fit. What the hell? But anyway, that's fighting for later. But we were down down this Shooting Newton district. We didn't have radios that would meet them. So we get down this Shooting Newton district, and we pull one of the cops over, and we go, hey, we badge them, we say, hey, we're down here, we're going to be serving a warrant out here, we think the guy's in this house, and the cops go, you know where you're at? We go, LA? He goes, man, you're in Newton. He goes, they call this the Shooting Newton. I go, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, there's a lot of shooting down here. And I go, well, shit, can you guys give us a couple units and cover us and come over? They laughed at us. They went, hey, man, it's your warrant. We got other things to do. If you need us, give us a call. I'm like, really? Because, you know, we had 3 of us with us because we were traveling 3 because we were going to all these different crazy areas. So we always had our own numbers. But we always like to have a uniform with us that's local, that knows in case it gets into a pursuit. We don't know how to chase them. We don't have radio. We're going to be on our phone trying to call. So it's kind of, I mean, it was really Mickey Mouse. I'm like, dude, really? We can't get a better case or help on this? But a lot of agencies are like, hey, we don't want to get involved. If you want to ask for a question, you got to either pay us, do an official request, well, whatever. Some agencies were nice. Hey, we ain't doing nothing. Sure, we'll send an officer. But Shooting Newton, they were like, hey, you're on your own. So we go, okay, well, we're going down to this house, man. If you hear a yell help or something, or 911 comes out with a dispatch, if you guys don't mind putting down your coffee, could you come help us? They go, we get a call, we'll be there. I go, all right. So we go down there, so we end up calling each other, because when we get behind the house and we're circling the house, we've got to be on the phone so we can communicate. So we're running around with phones in our ear. We didn't have Bluetooth back then. We had a flip phone Nextel that you had to hold in your ear. So we're talking, and we're going to this house. Well, before we get to this house, there's a dude that came out of the house, and he's an older black dude. I'm gonna say he's 60, 65. So he comes out of the house, and we're like, okay, if we contact him, he'll tell us who's in the house, if there's guns, whatever. Let's go try to contact him, get a hook in him, see if we can arrest him for something, so he'll tell us the truth. So he walks out, and, you know, somebody's going to say, oh, you stopped him because he was black. Everybody we were chasing was black. Shooting Newton was black. All the Nigerians were black. But anyway, we stopped him because he had lead information. So as soon as he gets a little bit down the street, we follow him, he walks, we jump out of the car. Police, what are you doing? You're on parole probation. Great, funny guy. Stop. As I'm patting him down, I go, hey, guy, you got any weapons, hand grenades, needles, anything that's going to stick me? You got anything on you? He's like, nah. He goes, man. He goes, shit, around here, if you ain't got a weapon, you a victim. And I was like, uh-oh, that's a clue. He's probably got a weapon. I go, well, what weapon you got? He goes, shit, I got this knife. And he pulls out this big old-ass machete that's this long, and he's carrying it down his leg. And I just start busting him. I'm like, dude, now that's a knife. And he's like, hey, man, I got to protect myself. I said, are you on parole, probation? I said, you ever been arrested? Because we asked that for everybody. He goes, shit. If you ain't been arrested around here, you ain't a citizen. I'm like, I said, dude, you're killing me. So he's got a record, he's been arrested, he's carrying this weapon, he's on probation, he's in violation of probation. You think I care about any of that? Hell no. I want to know what's in the house. So I'm like, dude, you're not supposed to have this, you're on probation, we could arrest you, but we're willing to cut you a break if you tell us what you're doing in the house, who's in the house. So he tells us he's really cooperative. Hey, man, I don't want to go to jail, whatever I can do. So he just spills the beans. And he tells our guys in there, there's no one else. I think there's like 2 other people, but he doesn't know them, but he doesn't know if there's any weapons or anything like that. We go, okay, I said, you're out of here. So he's like, hey, can I have my protection? I'm like, I said, I tell you what, dude, I'm going to throw your knife over there in this bush. You go stand down at the corner of that street, and when we're done here, you come get this knife. If you come get it before we leave, you're going to jail. Hey, no problem, boss. I'm walking. So he walks down the end. He stands. We hide his knife over there in the bushes. Hopefully somebody stole it. We go in. We do our warrant. We get our another guy. Sure enough, wrong guy. Same thing. But that old guy was the funniest dude in the world. Those are the 2 best lines I think I've ever heard from a crook. If you ain't got a knife around here or a weapon, you're a victim. And if you ain't been arrested around here, you ain't a citizen. And that's the mentality of a lot of the high crime, ghetto, just gang infested, a lot of places that most people don't see, but cops go to and work to all the time. So it's not so odd to us, but that guy was funny as hell. I thought that was a great old guy. If I ran into him again, I think I'd have to buy him a beer just for giving me a good laugh over the years. All right, we'll end that there.